One cannot discount the value of friendship in our lives. How many of us can remember when that friend was there when we had that broken heart, or perhaps when we had that very difficult task in school and that friend was there to help us with it? Friends play a very important role in our lives. They bring laughter. They enrich our lives, and therefore we have to be very careful about who we allow in our space to influence us. Today in our podcast we have, as usual, 4 lovely ladies who will help us to unpack this particular issue of how friends influence us. Warren Buffett said, "You will move in the direction of the people that you associate with." So it's important to associate with people that are better than yourself, meaning people whom you admire. Now let us provide some context to who Warren Buffett is. He is an American billionaire. It is said that his net worth is in excess of 90 billion US dollars. He invested at age 11 for the very first time. So of course we're never too young to start investing. He's associated with over 70 companies, to include Fruit of the Loom, Geico, Duracell, among others. So in our Jamaican parlance, we will say, if fish come from river bottom and say shark down there, would you believe him? If one of the wealthiest men in this world told you that you move in the direction of the people you associate with, would you believe him? We want to explore this issue in this episode. How do our friends influence us, and therefore how we should be careful about who we allow in our space? Ladies, what role has friendship played in your life, and is it important to have friends?
Well, I must say that indeed it is very important for every person to have friends. We are social beings, and a majority of our identity is influenced by the people we associate with. So it is important in choosing the persons based on your morals, your values, the direction that you want to go. Those factors make it very important that you observe people and choose wisely who you spend your time with, because to a great extent they influence the choices that you make and ultimately the direction of your life.
Yes, I agree with Millie. My mommy always say to me, show me your company and I will tell you who you are. But can I be real though, growing up, anybody know the song What a Friend We Have in Jesus? Yes, to be honest, growing up, I didn't have friends because I see where a lot of persons got hurt through friendship, and I was so reserved. I was so afraid of getting hurt in that manner. So I pretty much stayed by myself and tried to do things and get through things on my own. But on my journey in life, I am now realizing, as I begin to become more open, I am now realizing that friends are important, because sometimes we have some issues and we're going through some circumstances in our life, and being there in the situation, it seems as if the world is against us. And sometimes just talking to somebody, you release all of that stress, you release all of that tension, and you find that in talking sometimes, you start talking about solutions to the problem. While if you were alone, it would be difficult for you to actually solve some of these problems that you have. So I believe friends are very important.
I'd like to add to that sometimes you believe you're the only one having that problem, and you feel like something may be wrong with you or wrong with your circumstance. As you begin to interact with friends, you recognize that some problems are very common, and by sharing, you're encouraged and you have the strength and the vision to move on, and you develop trust in other people, and you're able to choose wisely. When, especially at the beginning, when you begin to have friends, you begin to see what factors or what qualities about them that you like and that you would want to admire and have as a part of your becoming. And so there's a paraphrase from the wisest man, Solomon. He says, if you want to be like kings, walk with kings. Therefore, you're able to choose wisely what characteristics that you see, and you're able to choose your friends and maintain them for quite some time.
I'd like to piggyback on something Hope said earlier, and it's basically coming from a song. It says, no man is an island, no man stands alone. And sometimes we take that for granted, right? Because we tend to bottle things up inside, and that normally isn't quite healthy, right? I've heard this many times because I'm one of those individuals that like to keep things in. But then, as my mom would say, this is not healthy for your child, get rid of it. So it's good to talk to others and, hear their views on the situation that you have. And probably then, as Joan mentioned, it wouldn't be so bad. Things, just let it out, speak your truth and hear what others have to say. You'll find out that it's not as bad as it seems.
If I can recall, I was going through a particular difficult time, and it bothered me for years. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and all of a sudden, just that conversation is like I had a eureka moment. And I then realized that I was not able to change that situation. I would just have to let it go and just accept that this will not change. If I never had that discussion, perhaps I would still be bothered by it. So sometimes you really do need to have that friend that you can talk to, and just by bouncing an idea, sharing thoughts with that individual, you get a whole different perspective on how to deal with a situation. So friends and good friends are indeed very important. Have you ever had a friend that positively influenced you, and how profound was that influence?
Well, yes, positively influenced. I've had, let me say, 2 sets of friends, or 3 now, right? A set from high school, a set from university, and the ones that I'm currently working with. Now, you'd have you have your best friends, so those originated from high school. 2 of them, lovely people, and one of them, I can say she has been a great influence on my life, because majority of the things I've actually ventured into is something that I've seen her do, and it's like, wow, that is quite interesting. I'd love to get into that.
Like what?
For example, doing my own hair. The many things that she did, it was baffling. It was like, wow, you really sat down and did all this by yourself? And it was like, okay, I should try and get this done. The next thing was crocheting. Let me just say that it's an activity that if you're in a very stressful moment, just sitting down and getting into the groove of things. There are just a lot of things, people from university that I've been with. The quote that you mentioned earlier, that spending time with brighter individuals, that was me my entire university. The clique, the bright people squad, to say that was where I was. And I believe so, yes, they were quite influential in my life.
Okay. Anybody else? Any friend that you had that had a profound influence on you?
Okay, so I think I have several persons who have been quite influential. So it's a bit difficult to choose, but what I can say is that I've had friends at different levels are different stages of my life. So, you have those high school friends, you have those that you meet in college, those that you meet by the wayside. For me, I'm smiling because I kind of find it odd the way my friendships develop, because I can be somewhat restless. So, so for example, going to college, I have a group of friends that I usually sit around and we chat, we laugh, we plan outings and we go out together. When it's time to study, we study together and everything. If we're stressed out, we have exam tomorrow, but we're stressed today, so we go downtown, go to walk or go to a party or something, and then in the night we sit together and study, and then all of us pass our exams. But even though I had that close relationship with them, sometimes I had a tendency to just disappear. So and I don't say anything to them, I'm just gone. And in my absence, I'm meeting different people. So it turns out that when they have issues, I can get people to solve their problems for them, because I'm out meeting people who can fix computers, who can do this, who can do that. So whenever they have issues, they end up coming to me to get their problems solved. So I'm always meeting different people. And also something that I must say too, I think it is important. Initially, we spoke about choosing friends wisely, because those persons influence your identity, and I think it builds your character to a great extent. So because of my personality too, and the types of people who I was meeting people who were above me, so people at different levels of staff. It pays to be polite, to be mannerable, and to be respectful, because I remember in college, there was a point when I needed help with something in particular, and a person in a particular position assisted me, and I was really, really grateful. And I made a point of duty to put my gratitude in writing, right? And each time I see the person, I would say, thank you, thank you. And that friendship blossomed so much, to the extent where I got a lot more help than I really asked for, to the point where my friendships were extended to that person's family, to the extent where I'm spending Christmas holidays, to where, so it is really a lot. I've met quite a lot of people, and they've all had a wonderful impact on me. The impact is that I learned to also be open to other people, because I want to provide the same kind of help to other people as well, right? So, yeah.
Like you, Millicent, I have a wide range of friends, and I think that my friendships I think I choose friends because I see what is in you that I'd like to see in myself. So there may be a set of friends who I like the way they speak. I listen to them, I hear the words that they use. I realize that they read a lot, what they read. And I find that I have an affinity towards, and something draws me to that group. Then I may find another set of friends who appeal to me because the things I like to do for fun, they also like that. So I have that group of friends. And I have professional friends, persons that where I work and who I work with, I can rely on them for ideas. And I like friends who are open and who will give me true advice. If I'm not doing well, say that I'm not doing well. Be genuine. And I like when I can be genuine with my friends as well, because I realize that you're seeking my good and I'm seeking your good. So I have a lot of friends, more than I keep in touch with on a regular basis. But one thing that characterizes the friendships that I have, and especially at my age at this time, we may not have met for 5 years. And when we get together, all night, husbands go to rest while we are there catching up. And it's as though we have never lost a day. Yeah. Very solid friends, and who are not afraid to say what's good about you, what you need to do, and what you need not to do. Quickly, I'll share that I had gone through a particular situation in my family, and I was very angry, but not many people knew that I was this angry, because all the anger was bottled up inside of me. So I went to visit with my friend, and of course I could open up, this friend in particular, and I could open up, and I was talking with her. And she listened very carefully. And then the following evening, she said, come, let's go watch a movie on the TV. And she went and she found this movie. And we watched this movie. I don't know if you have ever seen it. It was Sleeping with the Enemy. Yes. sleeping with the enemy. And I saw myself in that particular thing. And she never said a word to me. And as she was celebrating her 70th birthday virtually the other day, I said, how can I forget my friend? And I'll never forget that film, Sleeping with the Enemy. That was the thing that got me to get over my anger and understand that life happens, things happen, but you can get over it.
Yes.
So seek the best, things that will complement you, things that probably you fall short of, you see it in somebody else, and that can help you to develop into becoming the person that you need to become.
As I listen to Joan speaking, I'm here thinking, we have friends and we have acquaintances, because she was talking about the different groups that she might be drawn to and the different skills or something that she would want to build on personally. So for me personally, I have friends and I have acquaintances. Because not everything I will share with a particular person, I will share with other groups or persons that I am associated with. And I believe that is okay as individuals. And it is important, as Millie spoke earlier about us being social beings. We have different groups for different situations, for different occasions. So it doesn't mean that you have to share your personal life with everybody, but nothing is wrong with having acquaintances that you go out, have fun and socialize with.
And it is said that you have friends at different stage. They come in at different stage of your life, and then they just leave, and another set will come in. So they're there at particular points to assist your development.
Right.
Any regrets? Any regrets about associations that you have had?
To be honest, I can't say that I have had any regrets throughout my life, throughout my journey thus far. I am very, very observant. And before I become a part of a group or associate myself with an individual, I always watch the behavior, I observe, I watch the action. So that is me. So I don't have any regrets personally, no.
Not major regrets. I have had probably acquaintances, Hope, an acquaintance who I thought would mean me well, but I found out that she lied on me, and I found it very difficult to forgive her. But I didn't say anything because I am not one really to get into a confrontation. But it has a positive effect because I was able to forgive her, even though I never confronted her. And guess what? I realized that recently she got in touch with me again. And one of the video calls that she made, she says, "You're my friend for life." So yes, what they say, all things work together for good. Yes, it can happen. And I've had a friend, she was more than a professional friend, and we're friends for many, many years. But you realize that sometimes we outgrow each other. And although we spent, quality times together, you would call one of the inner circle friends. After a while, we just drifted apart. So it happens. It happens. And so if I would offer an advice when you're choosing friends, look at qualities in the friend. Look how they meet up with what you would want to become. Because trust me, whatever you admire in somebody, you tend to model. And when you model it, it becomes a part of you. So make sure it is something positive.
That was my next question. What are the qualities that we should look for when we are choosing friends? Since we recognize the influence that these persons can have on us, really, what are the qualities we should then be looking for in these individuals?
So I believe that when you're selecting your friends, it is important to first and foremost be self-aware. I know that everybody, may be at different stages of their life and they may not yet have the maturity to self-assess or to have that level of self-awareness, but your values, the things that you consider important, your morals, your moral compass, that helps you to identify the quality friends that you want to have in your life. So say, you want to have friends who are honest. You want to have persons who are genuine. You want to have persons who are happy for your success. Persons who will bring out the best in you. You don't want to have persons in your circle who I think the Bible does speak to it. That the praise, it is better to have. I'm just going to put it in my own words. It is better for a wise man to probably punish you or to reprimand you for something than for you to have the praise of a fool, or to have the praise of somebody who doesn't mean you well. So your friend may not necessarily always tell you what you want to hear then. It may be hard for you to listen to. It may be something that is not going to cause you to feel good, but at the end of the day, it is for your best interest. So characteristics: honest, genuine. They must have your well-being at heart. They're happy for your success. That is very important. You must have healthy competition. They must support you, and they must appreciate you for who you are. It shouldn't be a case where they want you to be them. They should see you as an individual, right? As a person who is growing as well to become.
Yes, Millicent, I agree with those things you said. People are supportive, people who mean you well, and all the other things you said. But also how they treat others. They must treat you because you're you. So you look at how they treat people generally. Do they generally care about people? How do they represent themselves? Their work ethic. You talk about moral standards. I agree. Because sometimes how people are before you, when they are with other people, they are not that kind of person. And it tells you that that person is not a genuine person. So yes, just look how they interact with other people as well. And that will give you a good indication as to whether they will be a true and genuine friend to you, or just a good person after all.
I've been very concerned because our young people, I think, are not being careful in how they choose who they, keep as friends. And especially when they are teenagers, they really don't realize the influence that these persons might have on them until it's too late. I was watching a podcast not very long ago where a person, because of the association, got himself in some serious trouble, ended up in jail because of the association. He himself wasn't doing anything, but because of the friends that he was keeping, he ended up in jail. Right? So we have to be very careful. So as Warren Buffett says, that you move in the direction of the people you associate with. So if it is that you have a particular vision for your life, a particular goal for your life, if these individuals are not going to help you to achieve that goal, then you are in the wrong group. Right? If they're not going to lead you in that path to help you to achieve that goal, then perhaps you're moving in the wrong crowd.
Millie spoke earlier about moral values. There's a saying, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. So I believe as individuals, you talk about our young people who are associated with the wrong group that might lead them down the wrong path. It comes back to our self-confidence, our self-image. I believe as individuals, we should have a personal image, and based on our image, we should align ourselves with persons who will bring out the best in us and help us to achieve the goals that we want to achieve. But personally, we should know what we stand for, and when we know what we stand for, then we will align ourselves with persons that will bring out the best in us.
It is also believed that, I am not going to engage in what those guys are doing. I know who I am, and I'm not going to be influenced. But we need to recognize that subtly we're being influenced. Even though we might think that, I'm strong enough and I'm not going to, if it is that the majority of your friends are doing things that are not in alignment with your goals and your visions, chances are you're going to be influenced by those individuals negatively. So it is said that a person who is standing on a pedestal is easier to be pulled off that pedestal than it is for that person to pull somebody from the ground up.
I would like to add something to Michelle. I don't know if you have ever seen. We have to be careful that we are not overconfident in ourselves. We have to be very alert, because one kind of friends we should not have around us is negative persons. Persons who see that nothing can be achieved.
Yeah.
You know, and they
doom and
sometimes
gloom.
influence you with that negativity. That before you know it, you're also seeing things through those negative lens. So have people who are positive. It can be done. It will be done. It takes this. And it is kind of a motivation piece for you to move forward and to fulfill your ambitions and your potential. So be careful of negative friends. We talk about adolescents and younger persons. I believe, unfortunately so, in this day and age where I guess they are very informed, much more than probably I'm at that age for myself. And so there's a temptation to believe that you know everything. And therefore, I'm hoping that through this podcast, that somebody can be influenced to understand at that age. You see things through rose-colored lenses, and listen, hear, learn, and apply those principles, because it can help you, it can make or break you. And I'm really hoping that somebody today hears and will follow the advice that we have been given from experience.
Yes. So we recognize that, the persons that we are associating with are of bad influence. But having listened to this podcast and you have coming now into a new awareness, how do you now shed those bad influences?
Well, this is one time I believe that you have to think about yourself, where you're going, and how that is going to affect your future, who I am. So I don't think you need to have a quarrel or a brawl about it, but you gradually minimize your presence, the places you go, the things you do. And I think sooner or later the message gets across, or you refuse to do things that you know are not in keeping with how you see yourself and what you want to become. You may not be liked for it, but in the end, you'll be happy that you did.
So as they say, Joan, take away yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
So I believe, so it is now that awareness that you're in the wrong group. And then you now have to think of the strategy or the steps that you're going to take to get out of that situation. The aim is to get out because you now recognize where you are and where you want to be. So it might not be something that happened very fast. You take your time gradually and you do what you do to fix yourself, fix the situation, and get to where you want to go. It will not be easy, but if you have that drive and determination to reach your personal goal, you'll find the way to get there.
And Michelle, as I listen, all the suggestions so far are practical and they're good. But I'm also thinking about those youths who are involved, unfortunately, in unsavory practices, crime, violence, gangs, and it may not be so easy for them to fade their friends or to walk away or to stop the calls from coming in, right? So for those persons, how do they break away from those friendships? Some breakaway might call for a person to leave. It is not so easy for them to just tell a friend that, hey, I can't meet up with you tonight, or I can't do this anymore. It is not so easy in those circumstances to escape or to take yourself out of that situation. You have to remove yourself from that particular environment. In Jamaican terms, you have to cut. Right? You have to move away from that environment. Probably you have to live in a different parish, a different community, a different country. Sometimes some persons have to go as far as that.
I just want to say also that this forum and people that represent us are all around and are able to help to give advice as to probably the best thing to do. So I think, seeking counsel, seeking advice sometimes can be an option to help you to get out.
Absolutely. Okay, at this point in our podcast, we are going to have our special feature, The Empty Chair, where we're going to be joined by a guest who has been influenced by their associations. All right. So thank you for joining us in this segment of our empty chair. We have a very intriguing guest speaking to us on his experience, his life experience. You don't want to miss this. You want to stick around to hear what he has to say in this episode of our empty chair. With us, we have Jermaine Austin, who will be our very special guest today on our program.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, I'm very well, thanks. It's so good to finally meet you. I read your story in the papers a few months ago in our local daily newspaper, and I was so taken by, I'm just so inspired by what it is that I read. I think your story is a very important one that we need to share to kind of provide some guidance for our young people. And I thought I would reach out to you to be able to share, for you to share your experience with younger people so that they can avoid some of the mistakes that we generally make as, when we were teenagers or
Yes,
youth.
yes.
But let
And it's
us,
easy to make a mistake too.
yes, yes. Let's start from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, who you grew up with, where you lived.
All right. First and foremost, good night again to everybody out there. Um, my name is Jermaine Austin, as Michelle said. Born and grew in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, Vineyard Town to be exact. Now, with a broken family, and grew up with my grandmother because my mom fly out to Canada from I was young. So we are one of them what they call a barrel kid.
Yeah.
So often you get to barrel and thing. So I like me born like a sufferer. In them time they would have call that middle class family,
Right.
right? And my father now was a ghetto youth from down a McGregor Gully that's nearby. So she and him link up and well they never really sit down and talk to me and tell me how they link up me, but they produce me. And he went away before her, but in his lifestyle, he was a farmer done in McGregor Gully too, right? And his lifestyle, when he leave Jamaica, him did a continue with it over there. I mean, dead over there,
Over there,
up to
where?
now in America.
Okay.
Up to now, when I see nobody or I don't know which farm bury or nothing, that type of day, him beat up into. Now,
Okay.
my mom travel, go make a life, send for me. Now, when she sent for me, that time I was around 14. Going,
Before you get there,
yeah.
tell us, when you were growing up, what sort of ambitions did you have as a child? What did you want to become when you grew up?
Honestly, when I was going to St. Teresa Prep, I didn't want to be a pilot. When I
Okay.
reached Excelsior High, through playing football, I wanted to be a footballer.
Okay.
And then when my mom sent for me and I reached into Canada, I was in Canada. Through the broken, our heart was broken. To what from my side, I want me experience from her.
Mm-hmm.
Her heart will break. And me look like my father so much.
Yeah.
More time I could have said something, should I say, I see you say your father that go on. It kind of get on her nerves and she couldn't handle it, so she never know. To tell you the honest truth, the first place I'm gonna say it because a wicked thing. And she never know nothing better either
Yeah.
at that time. The first place my mother made me know when me reach Canada at the 3G11. East
three-
detention,
The three what?
3 jails.
The three jails. Okay.
Yeah. East detention jail, West detention jail, and the Don jail before I know where I live. So she did like to me, when everything done clear, I used to say she did have a plan for me.
Yeah.
And I bite the bait.
Oh my goodness. So you really thought that your mother set you up for the life that you eventually lived?
Yeah, them times I used to think that.
Okay.
And it bring a grievance in my heart. For know some my want to take me out of Jamaica. I have friends and my family. And I can't come somewhere I don't know nobody. And in a 6 month time she kicked me out of their house. And it's not because of the wrongdoing that I am doing. It's just because of a simple mistake between the school and my timetable that they give me. So whenever I used to my timetable, so and foreign school, when you get your report card, it's not like Jamaica where the teacher give the student the report card to go home. They mail the report card to you. I never have a letterbox key. And if you break in the letterbox a foreign, that's a federal charge. You go
Okay.
straight up in.
Mm-hmm.
So she make me know all of them something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Boom, we do all of that and she get upset. She don't want to beat me. I said, no, I'm not take no more abuse and things. Cause trust me, when my mother used to beat me, bro. Anything she catch in her hand, she put it for me.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I said, no, I do that again.
Yeah. So
And
after your mother kicked you out, what happened?
okay, that's where now in Canada now, just start school. I went to Canada in November. And by the 2nd of November, by the next week, I'm in school. Even when I went to school to sign up, the principal was telling her, why don't you just wait until after December? They make him come to school in a fresh term. She said, no, sir, when am I do at the yard? Sit down and I do nothing. Make him do something. I said, all right, no problem to do that. We'll do it. But it's the truth because, and that's where I think the mistake come in because it was a short term down to the end of the semester.
Mm-hmm.
They send the wrong timetable to me. So when me get, me I go by. So she get a call, say, the principal said to tell her that every day him see me in school. It's not like him don't see me in school, him see me every day in school. But the classes what them have on the computer that I'm supposed to attend, it's not the classes I'm going.
Okay.
So it's when she come and beat me the evening, I said no. And she said me I turn bad man upon her. So she called the police. No, as a 15-year-old and you go up on your balcony, you see police are come down the road. You know, America, Canada and America, when you dial 911, everybody coming.
Yeah.
Police, ambulance, fire truck, all we know about to come. So you see all them pretty light are run coming in the apartment. You get scared and run out.
Yeah.
I run out, I got to a friend house who live nearby. No, him did in a gang and I never know. So one time at school, like, they were taking set on a guy, he couldn't fight. I'm going and I fight for him. So him says, I can't fight. So I'm saying, we not make you come over then. So him kind of grew me in the gang thing.
So
And
that
so me
was
joined the
so
gang.
that was your introduction to gang
The gang.
life.
Yeah,
And this was a friend of yours.
yeah. So
Okay.
you see what friend can do. Now, one thing good that friend did do, we couldn't skip school. From in I'm house, I have to go school because him I go school. So I have to go to school.
How
That's
old
why
was
I'm
this friend?
16.
And he was
He was,
already in a gang.
yeah, he was in a gang from he was 12. He
Wow.
already have a criminal record from he was 14. When I just come to the school, the story was he just got released from prison for attempted murder.
Oh my
So he's a
God.
known gang person.
Okay. Wow. So how did you get further involved into that lifestyle?
Okay. In college now, after high school, get my credits, I would decide, so we're going to college. Enroll in college and everything, Centennial College. And went in for the first time, orientation day. The guys them show them where the gym is and where they play the ball and thing. We go around there. From I go around there and see girls and don't look back nowhere else. Now, when I was going to high school to support myself in high school, I used to sell weed. So when I reached the college now, I was still selling the weed.
Okay. Because at this
My
time you did not have any support from your mother.
No, the government was giving me a support because the principal, the
Mhm.
school helped me, and they were giving me a support, but it wasn't enough.
Mhm.
And to make it enough, I'd have to go, and I couldn't get, like, work was hard to get at the time.
Yeah. So
I,
it was your
I'm not
mother.
going to lie. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie.
Mhm.
Work wasn't hard to get. I didn't choose to go and work.
Okay.
I see my friend selling weed, and they were making money. I said, that easy. I'm still out there around my friend and one thing. That's what I was thinking at that time.
So you were
So
looking
I
at
just,
the quick money.
yes. So when we reach into college now, he was selling a thing called crack cocaine
Mm-hmm.
just before we leave high school. Because him have a link on the street,
Mm-hmm.
but then get anything he want.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So before him introduced me to all of that, like he was giving me a test run with the weed. So him says, I'm gonna broke him foot or when I go around him in no way, no farm.
Mm-hmm.
Him say, I'm gonna introduce me to our next thing,
Mm-hmm.
but make him make more money. Me I
Mm-hmm.
say, what can make you make more money than weed?
Mm-hmm.
Cause them time I done store all of them things, drugs life.
Yeah.
And I say, him pop out a bag with some little white stone in it. I mean, I say, them little white stone I can make me make more money. The man say, it's that little bit of white stone, how much you think it costs
Mm-hmm.
on the street?
Mm-hmm.
And me I say, cause me I look on it and I measure it up like weed now, you know. And I say around $50, $60.
Mm-hmm.
Him say
Mm-hmm.
$50, $60, you want some kick and box. So I look on around $600, $700. I say,
Wow.
what for what? That little something? And I say, yeah. And I say, come here. And we go outside. And him show me him new car. And him say, you see it? 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I that me up. You know what car it was?
Mm-mm. No.
A Beamer. A brand new Beamer.
Wow. How old was he at this time?
17.
17. And this was the same friend that took you in and helped you out.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So me just say, yeah, I'm a love Beamer, so. So that just catch my eye. I say, one of that took.
Mm-hmm.
I say, all right. I make sure you how to deal with it. So him show me all of them things until I go on my own now.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I start I meet my uncle now, which was my father, brother.
Mm-hmm.
And him is the next man in the thing from a long time. So him call me, and we make a link with him. So I leave from the east side of Toronto and now go to the west. And Michelle can tell you this. All hell break loose when I meet him.
Wow. This is a family member now.
Yeah. Him
So
teach me the real thing now.
so
He make me know how to live in a prison before I go in a prison.
wow. So the family who is supposed to have your back and try to get you back on the straight and narrow and try to help you to make something of yourself, he helped to push you into further
Well,
wrongdoing.
exactly, because that's what his lifestyle is about.
Okay.
Right? That's why some people look at me today and say, oh, some old man can't leave bad place. I'm say that's what their lifestyle is about. You can't change their mind.
Yeah.
They have to change for their mind. Nobody could change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
is when I get deported and come back home and see what is poverty, what is
Yeah.
crime and violence.
Yeah.
That changed my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So after you got into the life of wrongdoing, what
Mm-hmm.
happened? What happened
I
after that?
get in the life around doing so.
Mm-hmm.
I did a gang that I did join called Bloods. So they say it's blood in, blood out. Meaning of that, you have to draw blood to get in. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to hurt somebody. So either they end up in the hospital
Mm-hmm.
or on the ice.
Oh.
Right? And anyway, you enter ready to come out, you either have to go to if me ready for come out, them have to kill me, blood out. The
So,
only
so,
way why now
mhm.
I am out and nobody now look for me. Most of my members, them who not dead, I live them life in a prison. The
Wow.
police, they mash up my connection, broke it down. Who forget deport, get deport. Who not dead, they're jail for life.
So you ended up going to jail?
Yeah, end up get a sentence for 10 years. End up
And
do 7.
you did 7 years, and
Yeah,
afterwards you were deported.
yeah. I
Oh,
sign up my deportation order.
okay. Wow.
Because to
Mhm.
come out on parole in foreign, when they say they put you out on parole, you don't just come right to your house. They're
Mhm.
going to send you to a government house
Oh.
where you're supposed to get a job while you're staying there.
Mhm.
And at any time, somebody can come there, ask for you, give you a little tube, and say, go urine in that and bring it back to me.
Mhm.
And if you stay outside 1 second over your curfew, if they say 7 o'clock if you're inside, and 7 o'clock and 1 second pass, they send out a warrant out for your arrest.
Wow. And how long were you in that facility for?
No, I didn't take that.
Oh, you didn't
I
take
know I
that.
would, I know I would have break the rules.
So
No,
what
I'm
did,
telling you the honest truth because Michelle, them times I wasn't conscious of it.
yeah.
Yeah, so I know I would have break the rules.
So
So
what brought, yeah.
I just tell my lawyer, so I would have just sign a deportation order, pay for my ticket and come home.
Okay. So now that you've returned home,
Mm.
you said when you got back here, you weren't a changed man. What
No.
brought about that change in you?
Okay. 27. 2007, sorry. 2007, I came back. It was the big election. A big election. And when the night, the afternoon I came, I reached in Jamaica 1 o'clock. By 2 o'clock, I reached home. And this is it. When I said home, McGregor Gully.
And who did you
And
come back to?
my uncle, I have
Okay.
uncles out here. When I come back home and reaching McGregor Gully, in the day it was all lively and everything was good. Put on my suitcase, take out my money, go and spend money and drink that. Know people, remember about people and things. You see, by 6 o'clock,
Mhm.
from 6 to 6 o'clock, gunshots straight. I'm lay down for my back in my room and I say, all of the gunshot them so nearby and they're not nearby. And I said, John, I wonder if them are making enough money. Like how we that make money and foreign and a fire gun. And I might just say, call your brother, man. Your brother there a long time. Him know all of the bad man them. He me carry on the back of feet. I'm going to say, all right. I'm going to link him and say, yo, you know something I want to go on the back of feet to see what I'm going. What do you bring me on the back of feet? What's it them I bring KFC? Like the boss man, the Don for the year, send the girls them for go buy KFC. And I said to him, then them a fire a gunshot. Every man out there, so I just this time again. And them say, yeah man, I saw the thing around. And I said, seriously? Yeah, them a give them life for 2 pieces of chicken. And I said, yeah man. And I said, that lick me. And I started scratch me and I said, no. I said, this cannot right. No way. In the morning now, I get up. Remember, I just come home, so I have my money. So I go to the bar, I'm at Red Stripe, and I drink. A man come to me. A man, I see him on the back of the field, come to me. Yo, bar, you know, can I get a drink too? I say, yeah, then at the bar. Sure. Them are selling at the bar, you know, go buy. No, man, that's something mean for it. You can't buy, man. I say, I'm mad, man. Them the big gun that I see you last night. And you come this morning up. You're mad, man. I'm there finally car gun for you. Me have more money down there. When I pick up badness, make sure you can have your money for back.
Mm-hmm.
I find nobody. And from that day, I decide, say, you know, say I'm mad this way that I want to get out time. Yeah. And then, me that do like hustling, like when I go on like a site or work and thing, but it never had make it to me. I never see my way. One day me and my cousin come home from work and a lady call him and say, you know, say Monday morning, you groom up yourself. Monday morning you go to school. I say, sorry, if I go to school, my must can go to school too. Right? And I go to the lady and say, so I can't go. She said, Jeremy, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if the place is full. So here we are for God now. You can go with him, and if anybody not come, then you give you the space.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, all right, thank you. Me and him got in the Monday morning, and them I register. And some people never come. But the man who did the orientation now, Mr. Godison, never forget his name. Big up yourself, Mr. Godison again. Mr. Godison say, big man, your name not the pan of farm yourself. So yeah, there. I said, I'm a cousin forward still. You know. I'm going to come to class, but them say they don't know if the thing full. So I'm going to come see me and see what I want. And I said, all right. I said, so everybody is here. Him said, everybody is here. It's like, and the day it just starts. So I give the rest of people them some time to come in. So I don't know if it's all full. But I don't think you can stay up on the compound. I said, big man, you don't understand me. I get how we live. If me and my cousin leave the ghetto, me and him have to come back in. Me can't go back in without him. So we live down in our place. And I said, all right. Well, we'll find a seat and it interrupt nobody. I said, all right, no problem. Anyway, I sit down in the back of the class, I go and take key, I go on. And it's like, some people never come in and the class done. So I go back to him and say, so I go listen. Like how some people never come here. Okay, I get one of them space because them don't look like they're interested. And him dead and him look for me from head to toe and him spin and him turn and him say, alright, you know what? I do you a favor, but don't let me down, you know. I said, I'm not let you down, man. And I say, alright. I put your name in. So I start now the welding at art. At level 1. Go to level 2, level 3. When I start level 2, I put in an application at UWI. And that's how UWI I am as a staff reliever.
Okay.
So if you are a staff and you leave the work, like you go on vacation,
Right.
I would come in and replace you, work for you until you come back. So I was doing that and everybody get the life, man, thing. And start, no, went into level 3 now. And I got to the boss, because level 3 was an all-day thing for the 5 days, Monday to Friday. So I go into my boss, Mrs. Reed, pick up yourself stuff. And I said, Mrs. Reed, you know that I have school and it's level 3 now, and then for 1 year, they said I'll go to school for Monday to Friday. all day. And she said, so we are, don't worry your head. This is exactly what she said, don't worry your head. Yeah, when you finish, you have a job here. And I said, for real, Miss Reed? She said, yeah, man, you have like where you were, people them like, you have a job here. Just when you know, start to tell the honest God truth. The day that I write my last test at art, check over my paper, sit down and look out in a space, my phone ring, and it a vibrator in an exam, so you know, fancy your phone in an exam.
Yeah.
Sorry, art, but I got answer the phone. And the man said, Jeremy. And I said, yeah. And the man said, you can't come and work now. And I said, what do you mean if I can't come and work now? I said, you don't know what I talk to you. I said, no, I'm not pick up your voice yet. And I said, Ellis, man. That is my supervisor. I said, okay. So up are you with? Him say, yeah, man. I'm just put up. I say, all right, man, I'm away right now. Give me an hour. Come there, pour more. And I say, all right, come here. You know, so from that day until today, I'm at university working. That's how I get to work at UA now.
Yeah.
And trust me, everything is good from then. Me and my mom make up back and she come home 3 times. We're in somewhere far up by the campus there because they help me out a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, man. We spend time there
Mhm.
and we talk. So we level up back everything. Everything is up and running again.
Okay.
We
So
call
she's
each
still
other,
in
we
Canada.
talk. Yeah.
Okay. I am.
Well, right now she's looking after her grandkids.
Oh,
No,
okay. All right.
pick up.
Yeah, I am so happy for your transformation. I strongly believe that as we get older and we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But I think
True.
as we age, as we get older, it is our responsibility to share our experiences with the younger people so that they can avoid some of the mistakes that we have made. No, I am sure that if you had your life to live over, you would have made different decisions. You'd have made different
Oh yes.
choices, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
What would you tell your younger self if you were to live your life over? And if you should think back and if you had that opportunity to talk to your younger self, what would you
Think
say
about
to the
yourself. Think about the best thing for yourself for the future. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about now. Think about the future.
Mhm.
Because if I was thinking about the future and a better life, and you see, this is the next thing too, Michelle.
Mhm.
You see, enough of us, we grew up worse in the ghetto. We grew up with a stigma because our parents have this stigma to be rich, to get something out of life. But them not teach you how to get it. Them just a beat in the head. If you go do something, be a doctor, be this. But everybody now gonna be a doctor, a lawyer,
Mhm.
a policeman, a soldier man. Nobody never beat them pit them and say, yo, say you can go learn trade.
Mhm.
Since you can't anger the book work, you can go anger a trade work. Come, me I
Mhm.
carry on at the mechanic shop and talk to the man around there and make him try to teach you something.
Mhm.
Enough parents don't do that.
Yeah.
Right now, my son, my only son, he's 13 years old. He's not doing good in the book. So I look at him and say, yo, Canada have trade school,
Mhm.
Get him enrolled in a trade school. He make up his mind as he go along, what he want. Him
Yeah.
can start with something and him don't like it. Me never know nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about welding. When I was younger, you couldn't tell me so me have to be a level 3 welder.
Yeah.
But my back is against the wall. I want to come out of poverty. Education alone can take you out of that.
Yeah.
So I go for it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I make it to level 3.
Yeah. And I'm so proud of your accomplishment.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So if you were supposed to talk to a young man, a young woman right now, they might feel frustrated because they're not doing well academically,
Right.
and they might be influenced by either family, as in your case, your
And
uncle,
yeah, our
influenced
friend.
you, led you down a path that was destructive. It could have been
So
friends, right? If they are
yes.
faced, and many a times I believe when persons are not doing well in school, they either get frustrated and then they are sidetracked. They look at other,
You're
not
right. You're right.
they're not really thinking that they can do
About
something with
themselves.
themselves.
The,
They
the
are
negative ones too.
they
They
tend to
don't
go
follow the
off.
positive one. And you
Exactly.
know
They
why?
Yeah,
Because the negative ones more look more interested, more lively.
yeah,
That the positive one look more boring over there. Look over me if you go sit down in a library and study and look over yourself.
yeah,
You understand?
yeah,
So to me, what more I tell myself when I'm younger, if I'm the younger now, is don't run down everything that is what my grandmother always tell me, everything that glitter is not gold.
yeah,
But I never understand that. And now I understand is not everything that glitter is gold.
yeah. And you should try and take your time and work and achieve. Don't try to achieve too quickly, right?
No,
Don't
no,
get into
that's
the
what I don't
fast
know.
lane. Don't get into the
No, no,
fast lane of making the
no.
quick money, because the
Yeah,
outcomes are
I,
usually not very
that's true. Because right now, it's true I used to live the fast lane. Whenever time I say I get myself, I got in that way for go get fast money. I always pull up and say, what on there? What that money I come so easy. Nah man, something wrong with this. I never want nothing to do with this.
hmm.
Anybody else you want to get for do your work, get them for do your work. Something wrong with this. And the money I come too easy.
Yeah.
And when I always tell people say university I pay me good enough. Then I give them millions, but I can't live off all them I pay me. I learn to live off of a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
not hungry. If I'm hungry, I can't hold it.
Yeah. Yeah. I am hoping that somebody was inspired by your story today,
And
Jermaine.
Michelle, just
Yes.
before we leave, I
Mm-hmm.
love to tell the young girls I'm out there today in Jamaica, a young woman, I tell them this. I'm not bad enough, I'm not this enough,
Yeah.
but honestly, you see reggae, dance hall, I'm not say reggae, it's a dance all young girls. It's a dance all young boys too. I want to stop follow that thing up. It lead you. It's the biggest destruction in Jamaica right now. And at them, the young people are follow. People that have no sense.
Yeah.
Better
Yeah.
than go with the reggae. Follow chronics and them one.
Yeah.
Them teachers for go farm. Them not teachers for go make quick money and be your poor thing.
Yeah.
Guys, trust me. Right now, to be honest, if the bigger heads them of Jamaica for going to a what you da call that now. To go and seek out how much young girls and young boys lost. And Michelle, may I tell you honestly, me sit down and talk, we sit down, as I used to work with CSJP, monitor message. And this is what more of the young people them sit down and think about. If you continue to get freeness and live a free light, free water, free land, and
Yeah.
not pay nothing, how you pick them going to survive? Because you don't put down nothing for them to survive. So they will come to live off of the same freeness again.
Yeah.
So there is no growth off of freeness. And this is what Jamaica two set of government need to come together and
Mm-hmm.
get rid of. This free mentality liberty.
Mm-hmm.
Me say me come home and me there. We're moving on a different neighborhood now. I'm observed, see people at work. We come here and see people at work. And people just stop work for sit down on the street and anytime beg a thing, And you know, I say no, they say you're the meanest man.
Yeah. Well, Jermaine, I am hoping that your story this evening will help to inspire young people, especially, to have a vision for their lives, a vision
Yes,
for
man. Think
themselves,
for yourself.
so that
Yes.
exactly, so they are not easily influenced by negative
Nobody.
influences, right? They will have that
No.
vision of where they want to go, what it is that they want to do, and therefore they will be strategic in choosing friends who will help them along that path to be able to achieve their goals and visions in life. Any final words we want to share?
Yes, I want to share a scripture from Corinthians, and it says that do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good character. Think about that.
Well, I just want to leave this famous saying. My mother is always ringing it in my ears. Show me your company and I will tell you who you are. So, if we want good gifts, we have to associate ourselves with persons that have good gifts.
I will just repeat what the wise man said. If you want to be like kings, walk with kings.
What I realize is that throughout this podcast, I have been learning a great deal about friendship. I mean, at this time in my life, I'm at the stage where this is a very important topic to discuss because we want to launch into our future, a greater future for ourselves, and in that we would ensure that the individuals that we spend our time with are individuals that we can look up to and will draw us basically up onto that pedestal that they are at. So I enjoyed this little discussion, and I hope that you can take from this ways in which you can build your friendship going forward.
Please remember to like, comment, share, and hit that bell to subscribe to this podcast.